Shut up and drive, 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 drive. Shut up and drive, drive.
That's right, folks. Shut up and drive. It's the season finale at Interlagos for Multi-21, Same Car Sunday, where we will have our last race in the wonderful Radicals. It's been a great season of racing, this particular series especially. Very close, lots of fun. If you aren't familiar with the particulars of this race, there are 3 sprints. Each race lasts 15 minutes, which on this track is probably going to be about 10 laps. And we start in qualifying order, and then we follow by reverse grid order for the final 2 races. It's been a very competitive series, as you will soon see. We're in the middle of qualifying right now, and currently it looks like Willie may be at the top of the heap. Willie has come on strong here late in the season. He just joined us about halfway through, but he has been tearing it up. Let's go on in and have a look and see what's what. Let's get a little bit more information here. There we go. All right. So as you can see, here's our calendar. This is the final race of the season. Pardon me. We are on the racing soft tires, racing in the afternoon, perfect conditions. So no weather problems. I hope the weather's as beautiful where you are as it is on track. And this is the final race of the season before we have our name change. In case you didn't see it before, check this out.
Shut up and drive, 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 drive. Shut up and drive, drive.
That's right, folks. We're having a name change. This coming season will be no longer Multi-21 Sim Racing. We will be known as Gen X. Gen X Racing, which more properly reflects most of the folks that have joined and are regulars in this league. Not everybody. We're not going to cut you just because you're 18 or 19 or you're like me, older than mummified dog poo. No, everybody's welcome. We're just going by averages here. So let's take a look real quick at our race regulations for Same Car Sunday. And the platform is, as you can plainly see if you're any kind of a sim racer, we are in Gran Turismo 7. Again, 3 15-minute races. There is no tuning. All these cars are exactly the same. We start with 50 liters of fuel, which is more than enough to get you around every lap of the track, 15 minutes. Start with the fastest first. It's a standing grid start. Penalties are minor. Damage is visible, but also minor. So if you see a fella go into the wall here, never fear. Within a minute, that crowd will be back on track and pointed straight. So here we have last week's results. And as you can see, Willie Ham absolutely torched it. Won all 3 races. And then race 1, Fire Woodman picked up P2. And Spoon, right side to Bloom, got the final podium position. Followed by Mark in 4th, Lava 5th, Splatter 6th, and Justin 7th. And Justin in race 2, when we turned the first reverse grid over, got a P2. Pretty darn special. Glava got him a P3. And in the 3rd race, again, Willie Ham with just running away with it, really. More than a 10-second lead. But Justin gets another P2. And this time, Rob Ladder gets the final podium position. So as you can see, there's been a lot of bouncing around from P2 on back to P7, but first place is pretty well locked up by our friend Will. That said, here are the current standings in the series. Looks like 6 of our drivers have played their jokers already. Last week that accrued to Rob's benefit and ended up putting him up a position. He is now P2 in the championship. He's surpassed Keith, who had been in P2 for the longest time in this series, but that joker made all the difference. As you can see, with Rob winning race 2 last week, he picked up a cool 100 points. So Rob is now just 62 points off the lead. And depending on how he does and how Justin does in these next 3 races, there is a potential for a shift here. That said, Justin's been very consistent, so he's going to be a hard one to displace. Firewoodman, it looks like Keith is a little bit too far out. There's a really slim, maybe outside chance he could get it. But he's already played his jokers, so it seems pretty unlikely. He gets 3 wins, and Justin can't finish a race perhaps, but very outside chance. But Splatter is right there in the hunt. As you can see, Glava's there in 4th place. No chance of him coming up into P3, but a solid 4th place finish for the championship season, so well done there. And of course, Willie Hamilton, who's joined us halfway into the season. Before round 10, he'd accrued 289 points, but as you can see, it's just win, 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 win all the way, except for just right there in round 2. Let's see, 92. No, I think he's still going to win there. He might have taken a penalty bump. I'm not sure what happened to his points there, but he played his joker last week, got seriously crazy points. So let's have a look at the race now. We are just minutes away from the end of qualifying. Need to jump into somebody else's car. Let me get my mini keyboard here. Let's see who else is on track. All right, there's Rob. 4 cars on track currently. I thought we had 5 joint. Looks like Glava, for some reason, isn't in the mix, even though he's signed up for this. So Glava, if you can hear me, please jump in. We'd sure love to see you for this final race of the season. Generally speaking, we don't we'll run a race if we've got people get busy and can't make it and we're down to just 4 cars. But being that this is the last race of the season, we're going to make an exception. There's Keith, his traditional firewoodman livery. West Country Firewood, we'll bring it and you'll burn it. Here's Rob out on track with Thomas the Tank, getting all slidey. And Rob is a full 2.25 almost behind Willie. So Willie's just biding his time in the pits, getting a drink of water. All right, getting to the essays. All around Pinerino. This is a tricky series of corners. One of the most fun circuits of the season for sure. Interlagos is alternately very fast and very slow, and oftentimes very frustrating. There's a lot of undulation. It's an old-fashioned track. This track was built, I believe, back in the 40s, and it hasn't changed much since then. They've upgraded it so that it'll be acceptable to Formula One. But it's still the same basic track and certainly the same basic layout that they've had for over 80 years or so. And this is going to be the last lap. The checkered flag's out. And unless Keith could put together some kind of crazy lap, he is going to be in P4, and that is how it's going to work out. Just 36 thousandths of a second off of Justin's best time. And there you have it. Willie Hamilton comfortably in P1. Splatter joins him on the front row in P2. Kobayashi Maru and Fire Woodman round out the rest of the field. And the race will start momentarily. By momentarily, generally it's about a 2.5 minute gap. So Willie was the only one to post a sub 140. The best Rob could come up with was a 140.8. Just quite a respectable lap in this little four-cylinder car. It's a nimble car. It has good speed. You wouldn't call it blindingly fast. But a fun little car to drive. It's very nimble, very maneuverable. But if you're not careful, the rear end will kick out on you in a hurry. So it does take some skill and a lot of practice to drive this car well. All right, so there you have it. We don't have the official standings right up there. But over on the right, you can see the results are reflected. And there they are. Yep, there's our official results. Not that it matters that much, but we'll bring them up anyway, just for the sake of being officious. And as you can see, we have a full second at least between the last three cars in the grid and Willie. So Willie is going to try to make this his race to lose. Although, remember now the next two races are reverse grid. So Willie is going to have to make his way through the field, as he always does week after week, since he's joined. But it makes for an interesting race. All right, we are going to spectate, and we're on the grid. Cars are revving up like crazy. Let's get our visuals up. There we have it. Both feet to the floor. Ball starts to penalize. They're off. The lights are out. And our four little baby cars are on their way around turn one. With Splatter in the lead. Splatter gets past Willie, and Willie drops to third. As Justin and Rob find a way to sneak in on the inside and grab the lead from Willie, at least momentarily. Willie is going to have to be satisfied with being mid-pack until he can find a way around these very assertive boys. And Willie's found his way around Justin already. So he's in P2. Now he's got Splatter in his sights. We had a little off back there with Fire Woodman. Nothing bad. He's still on track. Now going into the S's. We got Willie with 8/10 of a second of the lead, which is dropping rapidly. Willie takes his preferred outside line. Seems to take most of the time. It seems he likes kind of a Schumacher line where he gets way out Comes in late past the apex and just guns it out of the corner. That time, though, I took a little bit more of a traditional line, but still gets a wonderful jump to that corner. And now is picking up the pace and gaining on Rob. Justin's falling back just slightly. Looks like he had a little bit of trouble in those corners, but he's doing all right. Willie's trying to find a way around him on turn 1, around center curve. Rob fends him off. Let's see, is Rob going to go defensive early? No, he's sticking to the outside. Now he goes defensive. So Rob looks for a way around the outside. Now they're shoulder to shoulder. And Rob takes a very aggressive line and fends off Will. What's it look like inside of Willie's helmet? Let's go and see. It's so close, and that is going to be not devastating. It's still early in the race, but he can't be too happy about that. A 1 second penalty for what I don't know. But Justin with the little oopsie move there. He says, "That didn't see that coming, did you?" So, well done. Nice pass. Oh, boy. We'll have to go back and have a look at that here in a minute. So, Justin can keep that car straight. He could have gone into first place, but, yeah, he got a little wobbly, and Willie took the inside on him. So, Willie gets that spot back. He's firmly back into P1 now. Not too firmly, though. Justin's on his tail. Trying to get up under that wing. Let's see what happens in turn 1 here. Get back to the front. Oh, man. Justin's really aggressive on the pedal. Trying to get in that slipstream. It's getting away from him. And Willie's got a purple lap on lap 3. I always get a purple lap on lap 2. That's about it. And as Willie gets loose, the car gets a little bit dodgy. And scrubs a little bit of time off. About a half a second so far. Justin taking a really tight line that last one. Let's get into Justin's car and see what he sees. And what he sees is Willie getting smaller and smaller in his windshield. So now the real race is right here. The race for P2. Pardon me while I turn a fan on. As Willie pulls away, Rob is sizing up Justin. And this curve here at the end of this straight, a really good one for overtaking. So it's not going to happen right now, but just wait and see. I think you'll find it throughout the race. You're going to see a lot of passing there if we can keep the drivers close. With just 4 cars on the track, once you get separation, there's not a whole lot to watch unless somebody makes a mistake. But that's not the case at the moment. Everybody on track is fairly close. just trying to keep him within a second. Once you get to about 8/10 behind a car, at least with these radicals, it seems that the slipstream disappears. So you're going to want to be within 3/4 of a second or closer on straight if you want to have any chance of getting a good run. And Splatter gets a good run. And it's picked up another 3/10 in closing. Now he's within half a second. It just keeps closing on Justin. It's almost as if Justin has his brake on. As Splatter goes purple. Okay, now he seems to be picking up the pace. And he's picked up a half-second penalty. Maybe he was trying to be careful around his course. He's sliding a lot. No, if he's done something to his tires, they look fine in the graphic. The car seems to be slipping an awful lot. Hello there. Yes, the race is now. How you doing? Yeah, I love the radical too, Miguel. Yeah, welcome to the stream, Miguel. Appreciate you joining us. So what kind of tricks are we talking about, Miguel? You said it has some tricks to be fast. Be interested to know what those tricks are. This is not a car I've driven in anger. So I always welcome as many tips as possible. And Splatter made his way around Justin. And is pulling away. And yeah, I'm trying to interact with the strat, Miguel, the chat. It's a little difficult trying to call the race and also interact with the chat, because I also have to direct the race. So I'm hoping somebody else will come on and join you, but I will do the best I can. Justin keeping it close, and now Keith is running up on Kobayashi's bumper. Keith's kind of come out of nowhere. He's been laying back. Oh man, Justin gets loose. Up inside Keith's helmet. See, so his braking point comes up just before the 50-meter marker board. Taking a nice tight line. And if you look in the upper right, maybe you can see the faintest hint of Will Hamilton, our race leader. So the real race is going on here in the back, from positions 2 through 4. And as they fight, Willie just says goodbye and keeps on rolling in that clean air. pulls away. Rob pulls away a little bit. He has found some pace out of those corners. I think as those tires heat up, he's finding it a little bit better to get through the corners than he was. Whereas Justin's been having a really hard time keeping that thing pointed straight. What's happened to Keith here? Let's run back and see what slowed him down. Difficult to say. Just lost pace. Welcome to everybody who's watching. If you want to join the chat, jump on in. I will answer as I can. Probably going to have to do it vocally rather than typing, since the keyboard makes noise. Nobody wants that. So on up front we have Willie in Clean Air, dropped a 139.7, which is right around the same time he posted in qualifying. Very close. And ignore the fuel warning. I think that's some kind of glitch that was introduced with the last update. Nobody's going to have to go in for fuel in these races. We're getting very close to the end of race 1. Willie comfortably out in front with a 5-second lead. And Rob has just pulled away from Justin. Now Justin with a 1.4 second gap to Firewoodman, who's also accrued a penalty. Let's see if we can find out what happened. He already had it. So back to the front with just a few seconds left to go. Looks like we are about to finish this race. So we are possibly not going to even get 10 laps in. And Willie, even though he's way out in front in Clean Air and set up for an easy win, has not slowed his pace. He just put down his final sector and it was purple. And that's it. Time's up. Willie heads down the front straight, lights are flashing, crosses the line, and finishes P1, followed by Splatter, and close on his tail is Kobayashi Maru, Justin J, and across comes Firewoodman, smoking the tires. That's it. Here's your race winner. Once again, the trifecta: a pole position, clean race, a fastest lap. Oh, and also a win, so it's a four-fecta. Nice bunch of fectas there, Will. Yeah, that was a fun start. We are just about to get started. I think I'm going to have to change my car. Well, I'm not racing, I'm spectating, so I can drive what I want. There we go. Everyone's sitting in the pits. Can't really make out the cars too much. this is an interesting livery. Is this Will's that I'm looking at here? Yeah, this is Will's. It looks like he's gone with a Brazilian flag theme. Well done. And Justin is sporting his latest livery. Which is in honor of English rugby. And of course, Keith, always with his chrome fire engine red. We're just about to start the race. Here we go. Let's get the visuals up. Let's get our visuals on screen here. All right, both feet to the floor. Fire Woodman is going to be on pole position with Justin right beside him on the front row. And off we go. Fire Woodman gets a good jump. But Justin's got the inside line. It just gets a little bit wide. Gives Keith a little bit of a nick. It looks like it slowed him down. So now it's between Justin and Rob takes the lead with Willie zipping alongside there. He grabs P2. Coming to the inside as Rob goes a little bit defensive. I say a little bit because that's not the ideal line, obviously. And you've got Justin and Willie neck and neck. Run side by side, and Keith is working his way back up toward the front. So we got quite a tussle going on here on lap 1. Everybody's in the hunt. It's 4 cars, nose to tail. Well, Rob takes a little bit too much of the inside, which sends him wide, but only harms his pace slightly. And he picks it right back up the hill. So Willie's popped into second place as Justin pops in behind him. Justin looking for the inside line as Willie closes the door. Justin taking the preferred line through that corner, which apparently was Senna's favorite line. Much more of that corner is within the boundaries than most people think. Splatter with a comfortable but still tenuous lead. As Willie inches a little bit closer on the straight, but is dropping back in the essence. It looks like Justin got wide. And that gave Keith the spot. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, he just gets off on the curb there and sends him outside. The car gets loose, jittery, and that knocks him far enough off track where Keith can grab that spot. So Splatter's still in the lead, still with about a second. As Willie inches ever closer. And I mean inches. He's picked up a tenth from one end of that straight to the other. Let's see which line he takes. He likes a wider line there. There's Keith And Justin coming through at the last there. Still a tight race. Now Willie's looking for the inside. Keeps poking his nose in there to see if Splatter will react. And continues to gain on him, and soon they're going to be side by side. I think once they get out of the S's. And Keith gets loose. I think he had a slight lockup there. So Will is just going to stay hooked up to his pipes like a camper trailer. Putting himself in those side mirrors. More to give Splatter something to think about. Will's racecraft is such that he likes getting in your head. So here's where Will is going to be making his move. In all likelihood. He's going to have to get a lot further ahead of Splatter if he's going to make that stick. And he cannot, and backs out. But that gives Splatter a really wide line, which is a tremendous advantage to Willie coming into this straight. This very long straight. Now it's going to be up to who can be defensive and get on the brakes the latest. Oh! Willie gives him the juke. Tries to slip him the dummy there. And that sends Splatter wide. And Willie gets the inside and snatches P1 away. What is Splatter's response going to be here? He's going to try to get inside and nudge Willie out of the corner. Willie just a little too strong through that one, but Rob momentarily takes him in the S's. And somehow is maintaining that lead, and that all that battling going on there has brought Keith into the mix, and now Keith wants P2. They momentarily went side by side. And Keith is hard on Willie's bumper, and now over to the right, to the inside, to the left, and snatches that spot away from Will. So now we've got Keith, who's quite high in the standings, gunning for Rob. And we're halfway through the race. Just about. Man, what a battle. These Sunday races are just the best if you like competition. You like close competition. This has nothing to do with the car and everything to do with the driver. Always a good show. And Willie takes that spot away from Keith. And, boy, he puts that juke on. Man, I don't think Rob saw that one coming at all. That was a nice move. Man, but Splatter stays right on him. He's not going anywhere, neither's Keith. Side-by-side action yet again, and Rob takes it away momentarily. Gets him on the inside of the S's. Now it's going to depend on who has the advantage coming out of this last corner before the next short straight. And Willie gets him just for the briefest of moments, but gets the inside as they go into this short straight, and Willie jumps into the lead. Rob trying to get his nose in on the inside, as is Keith on Rob. Now Keith's on Rob's bumper. Justin's still in the hunt. If Justin can stay consistent and keep fast lap times, all this battling could benefit him. All right, into center corner. Keith looking just a little bit frustrated, wants to get the inside on Rob, and Rob is just closing the door on him, keeping a real tight line through those corners. Doesn't want to leave a window for him. And with all that fighting going on between P3 and P2, Justin is sneaking up, trying to get himself back in this race. And now Willie has just taken off. So Keith is just looking for a way around. He doesn't want to step on Rob's bumper. It's not like there needs to be any fuel saving in this series. You just race hard. Oh, hello, the Riot. Now Splatter drops to fourth. What's happened? This is the problem with typing on the chat. I momentarily lose consciousness here and miss what happened. Let's go back and have a look. This is more for my benefit. Yeah, Rob got loose, goes off track, and everybody gets past him. What a shame. At least for him, everybody else is in the hunt now. So this has been something of a slow race. I'm sure we're going to get 9 laps and we're definitely not going to get in 10. The Rock 46, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're enjoying the stream. So Rob has a moment that sends him flying off track, and now the field is spread out for the final 2 laps. We can only hope nobody else has an off like that, ruins their race, although I'm sure that's what Rob is hoping for. Not that Rob's a mean guy, but hey, it's racing. Everybody wants to finish up front. Yeah, I've noticed in the chats, people like this car. It's a fun car. It looks like a race car from back in the day. Wonderful retro vibe to it. Let's get on back and see how the rest of the field is doing here. So Rob is making gains. He's picked up some pace here on the front straight and is now within a second of Justin. Justin's looking for some way to pick up his pace. Willie just takes off. 5 seconds to the good. Willie has put down 2 139s and a couple of 140s for good measure. So we have a potential anyway for getting to a lap 10. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Rob's still in 4th place, still trying to find a way to get hooked up with Justin's rear wing. And now within a half a second, at least momentarily, coming through the last of the S's through this tight hairpin, this decreasing radius hairpin. Definitely one of the more challenging corners on this track. And Splatter, oh man, was looking for a spot on the inside there, thought he had it, and just goes off again. I think we all saw that. All right, with 1:27 to go in the race, Rob has now put down his best time, not only of the race, but even of qualifying. I'm sorry, Willie. Willie put down a fast lap. Yeah, it is a fun car to drive ride. I couldn't agree more. It can get awful squirrely if you don't treat it right. As Rob jumps out to a 7-second lead, puts down yet another purple sector. Or Willie. I keep calling you Rob, Willie. I'm sorry. But Willie puts down another purple sector. Willie's not slowing down. He's in clean air. Doesn't care. Doesn't care if he has a 7.5-second lead. He's come to race. As Kobayashi has dropped 10 seconds behind Fire Woodman. And that is accruing to Splatter's benefit, who had 2 offs. And I thought his race was done. But he is now pushing on this final lap for that final podium spot. So this is the race on track to watch. Just a little over 3/10. Here comes Rob in the front straight. Let's watch our winner get past the finish line. Another flash of the lights. Congratulations, Will. And another best lap of the 139.1. Here comes Keith, all by himself, to take home P2. But what is going on with this neck-and-neck race here? It is Splatter trying to find a way around Justin. Justin's put the hammer down and picks up P3 by 33 1/1000ths of a second. Justin just hangs on to the final podium spot. Great race. And Will gets the clean race and the victory. Congratulations, Will. Great race once again. I always find myself saying that about you, son. Pardon me, I'm dropping things everywhere. So excellent race all the way around. So much fun to watch. I can't wait for you guys to watch this stream. Yeah, that was a well-done race all around. I'm not even going to just pick anybody to congratulate. You all did great, so congrats to everybody. It's a lot of fun to watch. Usually if there's 4 cars on a grid, not necessarily something I want to watch, but man, this series being what it is, there's great racing, even if it's just head-to-head. Man, so much fun. So while we're waiting for the cars to get back on track, oh, it looks like we're already here. We're ready to start the final. I was going to put up a graphic, but we won't do that now. So let's start the race in Justin's car, since he has the inside line. So, reverse order once again. Splatter's going to start the race in P1. He's going to want a really good start if he hopes to get past Justin in this first corner. And takes the inside line, tries to lock the door on him. So far, so good, but that sends him wide. Looks like he's clear of it. Shouldn't be looking at a penalty. But still, P1 is not necessarily what you want when you're starting out on this track, I tell you. As Splatter goes defensive, Kobayashi Maru looks for a way on around the outside. Now looks for the over-under. Gets a great jump out of the corner and snatches the lead. Excellent stuff. If you're watching the stream right now and you're enjoying it, I would urge you to go to our Discord channel and sign up. I guarantee you it's a lot of fun. Can't guarantee you'll win, but I can guarantee a good time. As Splatter is at P3, behind Willie. Willie's worked his way up 2 positions. to get into second position. And Splatter's falling behind quickly. Now Splatter gets a jump on Willie. Well done. Let's watch that again. Coming into the tight corner. Man, yeah, Willie went a little bit wide. Splatter took it. Splatter fighting hard through the S's. That rear end coming loose, but he maintains. The great battles going on behind Justin. And now Splatter's got Justin in his sights. Jukes around on the inside, gets him in the same way that he got Willie Hamilton there just a little while ago, and Willie jumps to the back, and Firewoodman gets his spot in P3. So now Splatter has pulled into a significant lead, and Justin has picked up a half a second. So he can't be happy inside that helmet. So Justin's strategy is to go as fast and as close and as hard as he can to mitigate that half second. Tall order, but we've all seen it done. The problem of being on this track, though, that they give you the penalty as you start up that hill, and it's real hard to overcome any penalty really on this track. Bit of a shame, really. So that dumps Justin back, and he loses 2 places. And Willie Hamilton, out the inside line, jumps back into P2. Firewoodman maintaining 3rd position by the skin of his teeth. And Splatter's built a significant lead. We're just on lap 3 right now, and Splatter goes purple. He's already put down the fastest lap so far with a 140.7. You can expect that one to drop. If Splatter's going to stay in P1, he is going to need to get a fight going behind him. And looks like Keith go wide a little bit. Yeah, Keith went wide. That has definitely benefited Willie. Justin trying to hang on, get back into the game here. And still right around a second behind, which is nothing at this track. You see people picking up a lot of time on the S's. This track tests all your skills. It's you see Willie's head shaking there. Oh man, you gotta love those little things about the game. Now Willie is just stretching it out now, and he's now pushing hard on Rob. So he's gonna get the inside here in the center corner. Rob is trying to keep a tight line. And does so. Keeps it together in the first series. And goes defensive, as one should. Man, Willie is so quick out of those turns. And he decides to slot back in behind Rob. And Willie's put down a 139.4, which is 0.3 north of his best lap. But man, this early in the race, that's really something. Now, Firewoodman has dropped back to 4th position. Splatter is just trying to hold it together here, trying to fend off fastest guy on track. in through this complex of S's, Willie very patiently tucks in behind Rob's rear wing, not really waiting for Rob to make a mistake, just waiting for him to go a little slower out of a corner, and does so and takes the lead once again. So up 3 positions for Will. Zips past the field. And just starts to pull away ever so slightly. Splatter is trying to not make it easy. Looking for the inside line. It's a decent exit. How are we doing back here? Looks like Keith has fallen back significantly. Seems to be having trouble keeping it on track, maybe overcooking it into the turns a little bit, trying to find some pace in that car. So at the halfway point, we got Willie still under a second ahead of Rob, who just won't go away. It's like that fly that gets in your house, just can't seem to get the swatter on him. But Will gets a great jump out of that last corner. Puts down another 139. Splatter's still the best he's able to manage so far as the low 130s, low to mid 130s. Or sorry, 140s. And what's Justin up to? He's keeping a big gap between himself and Rob's car. And Firewoodman just trying to find a way to get himself back in the hunt with just about 3 laps to go. Now Willie has found the pace. So it's going to be up to Splatter to play spoiler if Willie can find it in his heart to make a slight mistake. But this is no charity, and Will's here to win, just like the rest of us. Another 139.4. Should come out to his best lap. All right, 2.5 to go, and we got a spin. What happened? Who was that? That was Willie. Oh, Lord have mercy. Willie decided he wanted to go for the gold, and down he goes here. Let's take a look. This heats it up a little bit. Car gets all squirrely. He's got to come back around, and he slots in behind Justin. Oh, that's a shame. He had a great run going. Great drive, Willie. Honest to goodness. You know, it's going to happen to everybody every now and then. Even the best will have a moment. So that is the good news that Splatter was waiting for. Bad news for one's good news for the other. I'm afraid it's a sad fact of life. Now Rob's got a comfy 2-second lead over Justin. Justin's had a great drive. Very few mistakes. And here's Willie in third. 8.5 behind his firewoodman. In this final race, they're coming up on lap number 8. Here it is. So 2 to go. So now it's up to Rob and Justin to keep it solid on the track. It will take mistake-free driving to keep Willie from picking up a spot. So right now, I think Justin's going to want to focus on Rob in the lead here. With just 2 seconds separating the two, it is definitely a possibility. And Justin, just like that, snatches a couple of tenths and inches closer. Keith's still struggling back there to get to the tight corners mid-track. And Willie's back on pace. This has to be Will's favorite corner. He absolutely flies out of that one. And now Justin's picked up a full second with 1 lap to go. The key here is going to be keeping a clean lap. Stay on that racing line. Fast exits. Now Willie with 4 seconds to go up to Justin is effectively out of the race. Doesn't mean he doesn't have a chance. He just proved that a couple of laps ago. Justin has him in his sights, just half a minute to go. And he has lost pace. So it's going to take quite an effort on his part and a boo-boo on Rob's part. Justin has to hope picking up P1. Rob's got a great line. So does Justin. Tight into the corner, and it looks like just not going to be able to do it. Still going to have a great finish. And here comes Rob, flying up in clean air. Approaching the start-finish line and crosses it at 140.2. His best lap so far. Great race. Willie and I don't think it's really frustration. It looks more like their celebration. Picks up P3. Justin, of course, gets P2. And here comes Firewoodman. Nice, easy P4. Still a lot of points. So this may have no effect on the final outcome for the championship season. But excellent, excellent race. Splatter stayed it the whole time. Never gave up on himself. Ends up in P1. So we got 2 wins for Will Hamilton, single win for Rob, and a couple of podium positions for everybody else. Terrific race today, guys. I wouldn't normally say that with 4 cars in the lobby, but Man, you all made it very entertaining. I stand corrected when I said I hate looking forward. I hate looking at 4 cars on the track, but you made a believer out of me. So great race, everyone. Folks, thanks for joining. See, there's a couple of people that are watching right now. Really appreciate the interaction. Riot and Miguel, appreciate you getting on and joining the chat. Everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Have a terrific Sunday, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.